Hello friends, good morning, good afternoon and good evening, depending from where you're watching me. I am Ezra. I am a Christian. I am a Seventh-day Adventist. I have come to talk about a few things about from the book of God. I'm going to talk about the two greatest commandments. What are the greatest commandments from the Bible? Yeah, we know we have 10 commandments that we are supposed to obey, but then Jesus came later, or Jesus from his teaching, he summarized the 10 commandments into two great commandments that we are going to know from the Bible. We are going to read the book of 1 John chapter 4 verses 20. It is talking about the two great commandments. Let me read. As we 1 John chapter 4 verses 20. It says, "If someone says, 'I love God,' and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has not seen? And this commandment we have from him, that he who loves God must love his brother also." You see, have you heard that? And this commandment, it is coming from God. That the one who loves, if one claims that he or she loves God, must ensure that he loves his brother. Because you can never say that you love God, yet you don't love your brother whom you can see. How can you love God whom you've never seen and hate your brother whom you can see? That is a lie. You will be a liar if you say that. That is from the Bible. Let us read another book, the same book, that is 1 John chapter 3 verses 18. It says, my little children, let us not love in word or in tongue, but in deed and in truth. But let us show action. Love should be practical. It's not something that you just say that I love God, I love my brother, and yet there are no actions that shows that you love God. For example, there is a brother or a neighbor who is suffering, who can't afford food, who can't afford medical bills, and you are there. You know you are able to assist, and yet you are not doing it. That is not love. If indeed you love your brother or your brother, you will never want to see them suffering. Whenever you are free, you are capable, you should chip in. That is love. That is showing love through actions. So love should be practical. We should not just say that we love one another, we love God, just by the word of mouth with no actions. There are supposed to be actions. How can we show that we love God? Can you leave everything that you're doing just for the sake of God? Can God depend on you? Can you leave your daily activities just because God wants you? You remember Paul when he was converted, when he knew the truth, he says that everything that he had, he counted it as rubbish and he decided to follow God. That is the true love that we are supposed to have during this final period of the history of the heart. We should show love by action. We should not just by the word of mouth that we love God. Love should be more practical. We're going to read another book from Matthew chapter 22 verses 34. Remember, we are talking about the two great commandments. Matthew 24th chapter, from the verses 34 to 14. It says, verses 34, Assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things take place. Assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things take place. That is from Matthew chapter, it's not chapter 24, sorry, chapter 22, verses 34 to 40. It says, But when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together. Then one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him and saying, Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and the great commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. So those are the two great commandments. Loving your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And the second one is like it. You should love your neighbor or your brother as yourself. The two commandments summarizes the 10 commandments in the sense that the first 4 commandments shows your love to God. The first 4 commandments, it is your love to God in heaven. They are vertical. God, it is between you and your God who is in heaven. The other 6 commandments are about you and your brother or your neighbor. We can describe them as being horizontal. It is between you and your neighbor or your brother or your sister whom you daily interact with. It doesn't matter whether you know them or you don't know them. Anywhere that you go, in the place of work, in church, in school, wherever you are, you should love your brother as you love yourself. So that is the summary of the 10 commandments. Commandment number 1, loving God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And the second one, which is the same as the first one, you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. Because without that, I don't think we can see the kingdom of heaven. We should leave everything when God needs us to follow Him. Just like the disciples. He just called them, they left whatever they were doing and followed Him, and followed Jesus. We should replicate the same. That is what can show love. And then how can we love our neighbors? Will you be comfortable seeing your neighbor suffering and yet you are able to help? No. Love means that you should chip in to help your brother who is suffering. Will you tempt your brother? Will you steal from your brother? Will you kill your brother if you love them? No. Will you covet your brother's wife, your brother's property? No. If you love them, you can never do that. Will you disobey your father, your mother, your parents? No, you can't do that if you love them. So the other 6 commandments shows the love between you and your neighbor, even your parents. Your parents doesn't mean that doesn't mean only the biological parents, but anybody who is older than you can be your parent. It is not necessarily your biological parent, but anybody who is older than you can assume to be your parent. Similar case to the younger ones who are younger than you. You should respect them because they are the children of God. You should never do wrong things to them. Just love them, respect them, treat them with the respect that they require. That will show love to your neighbor or to your brother or your sister. That is the summary of the 10 commandments. What we've learned that the first 4 commandments shows the love between we human beings and God, and the other 6 shows the love between me and my neighbor. That is the summary of the 10 commandments, making the 2 great commandments: love your God with all your soul, with all your mind, and with everything that He may require. Similarly, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That is the end of today's discussion. Thank you. Let us meet in the next topic.